Have you ever wondered why certain words can cut deeper than any blade? Why some silences can feel like a deafening roar? For Maran, it all began with a question not asked aloud, but etched into her mother's icy gaze. Why her first? A question pregnant with unspoken pain. Maran, a young woman, just 25, was a housewife, expecting her first child. A beacon of hope in what she hoped would be the mending of a long-fractured bond with her mother. She had dared to believe that a new life, her life, might heal old wounds. She returned to her childhood home with her husband, Warner, hoping for a celebration of sorts. What she found instead was a chilling welcome, a forced smile on her mother's face upon Warner's arrival, quickly dismissed as she focused her gaze on Maran. As the family settled, the air grew thick. Maran's sister, Tara, effervescent as ever, greeted them with open arms, her joy seemingly genuine. The cookies her mother presented were a sugary facade. Maran, she knew, didn't care for sweets. But Warner, with his kind and thoughtful way, ate them without hesitation, his presence a gentle shield against the sharp edges in the room. The sweetness of the treats couldn't mask the bitterness that Maran sensed, a feeling she knew all too well. Taking a deep breath, Maran announced her pregnancy, a moment that was supposed to be full of joy. But something broke, a fragile bubble of hope burst into tiny fragments. Tara's congratulatory hug was a bright spot, a moment of sisterly love in a room filled with unspoken anger. With Warner distracted by a work call and Tara in the kitchen brewing tea, Maran found herself alone with her mother. The mask dropped. Gone was the forced smile. Her mother's voice, trembling with suppressed rage, cut through the quiet. Why you? Why you first? Her words were followed by a question, a painful comparison that cut deep into Maran's soul. The first grandchild should have been Tara's. Was she not good enough? Did she not deserve the joys of motherhood like her sister? This question was the prelude to a physical assault, a betrayal that Maran never expected. The unthinkable happened. Her mother stood and kicked her, a brutal act of hatred unleashed on her pregnant belly. Maran screamed in pain, the sound cutting through the suffocating tension. Tara, returning from the kitchen, was horrified. Warner came rushing in. The scene was a blur of pain and disbelief, a nightmarish tableau. As the ambulance sirens grew louder, Maran clung to consciousness, her husband's hand a lifeline. She was leaving behind her childhood home, perhaps forever. Tara's tears mingled with the sharp, acrid scent of fear and betrayal. Her mother, in the middle of it all, acted like the victim of the incident. As the ambulance raced to the hospital, bathed in the glow of streetlights, Maran held tight to Tara's hand. A wave of childhood memories came crashing down. The unfairness of her life was a constant, a weight she had carried for as long as she could remember. A childhood marked by a chilling lack of affection, an unspoken preference, and a feeling of deep inadequacy. She recalled the small cruelties, the divided love, and the crushing weight of always being less than. The lavish gifts for Tara, the simple cast-off things for her. The lavish praise for one, the silent dismissal of the other. The difference in meal portions. Maran had always been not enough. Maran's teenage years brought more of the same, a continuous stream of hurtful comparisons and silent rejections. It was Serena, her best friend, who first voiced the truth. "Your mother is cruel, Maran." It was the first time she had heard the words. The seed of understanding began to grow. While Tara, oblivious, lived a life of popularity and privilege, Maran felt the sting of every slight, every harsh word. They would come from her mother, who would make her feel inadequate in every aspect of her life. She desperately wanted to be liked, but couldn't quite understand how she was so different from her sister in their mother's eyes. Maran's 16th birthday was a painful reminder. No gifts from her mother, just the constant reminder of her shortcomings. But her friend's small, simple gift was an act of defiance and a reminder she wasn't alone. She decided to carve her own path and moved out after graduation, defying her mother's dismissive words. She worked relentlessly, and her determination drove her onward. She did not give up. It was in an IT company that she had found her first job, where she also found someone who saw her for who she was. There, she met Warner, a kind soul who saw past her struggles, a man who taught her the meaning of unconditional love. Their relationship blossomed into something beautiful, a love that offered safety and acceptance. She shared the pains of her past and he embraced them, holding her, promising her it would all be all right. Warner's proposal was a quiet promise of a life free from fear and pain, a love that was gentle but strong. Even her mother could not dim the light in their eyes. Their small wedding felt like the beginning of something real. A warm family started with warm people, even though her mother never missed a chance to remind her that her marriage would not last. The love she received from Warner's parents was a completely foreign emotion to Maran. Her mother-in-law was the mother she had always longed for. Her in-laws were a warm and loving family who praised her for even the simplest of things. This allowed Maran to blossom as well in her professional career. When she discovered she was pregnant, the couple was ecstatic. She wanted to share the news with her family, hoping that this new life would create a new path of love for her mother. But this desire soon shattered as the visit to her parents resulted in the nightmare, which resulted in her current state. As Maran lay in her hospital bed, surrounded by the steady hum of medical equipment, she knew she couldn't go back to the life she used to have. The past might have been unfair, but the future could be different. Warner's loving assurance that she was more important than any work made her heart bloom with hope. And as the doctor brought the good news that her baby was safe, a new chapter was about to begin. As if summoned by her thoughts, her parents appeared. The tension filled the room with unspoken words. A social worker also came to speak with them. What followed was the truth. Maran finally told her story, speaking out her pain and humiliation. She had been quiet for too long. For the first time, Maran's father and sister heard what she had been hiding. Her childhood of hurt, her continuous belittling, and all the emotional scars she had received. Her mother couldn't stand that she wasn't able to be in control anymore. The situation escalated. They even had to call for security. Maran's father then finally acknowledged what had been happening, and the chaos led to the decision to finally break away, finally leaving with her husband and her newfound family. After 16 hours of labor, Maran gave birth to a healthy baby girl, Nikki. For the first time, Maran was experiencing the true meaning of love. With her husband, sister, and father by her side, she knew she could raise Nikki in the warmth that she had always longed for. She found comfort in her family and found comfort in helping other women with complicated families who had experienced the same pain as her. And with their support, she had become stronger. On Nikki's 6-month birthday, Maran looked around at her new family, all filled with love. She knew she would never let the darkness she experienced in her childhood touch her daughter's life. As she held her tiny hand, she made a promise, not just to her child, but to herself. She would choose love over hate, hope over despair, and would raise her child with the same unconditional love that she always craved. It was time for her real story to begin. The new chapter filled with the warmth of love, compassion, and belonging. A family of her own making, bathed in the soft glow of a new dawn. This story may resonate with many of you. Have you ever faced similar situations in your family? What helped you overcome those challenges? Share your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe for more powerful stories of resilience and transformation. Your engagement helps these stories reach those who might need to hear them most.